What's up, YouTube? How's everybody going on today? This is Professor HDZ. How's it going? Right now, D2 is a bit slow. It's a couple months before December when Renegades is supposed to come out. And I thought I'd do a comparison between D1, what was the magic about D1, and the difference between the off magic that's going on right now in D2. It's the magic's kind of dwindling there. And first off, right off the bat, let me just say this. The colors in D1, the atmosphere in D1, the lighting in D1, and not only that, something else that I forgot is that the sun actually, you actually have day and night and afternoon throughout the whole of D1. So I'm in the tower right now, and the sun just started to set, and so now all of a sudden I see that the light is pouring in at a different angle. I think that's huge magic into the world to really make it feel alive, and part of the aspect as well as real quick hitting into the MMO thing is having a place like this in the tower. Just do a quick look where I can see everyone coming in and their ships and what's going on. I think that's really cool, as well as the skybox going on here looks absolutely stunning. Now, the big thing I want to talk about in this video is actually light level and what they're doing and what they did in D1 and what's going on in D2. Right now in D2, light level is more about just making light go bigger. There's no real reason for it. Grandmasters, you don't need, you can be a higher light level in Grandmaster. It makes it a bit easier in content. But I want to go into about what D1 did right in this regards is as you're increasing in level, you're unlocking your subclass, right? You're unlocking more abilities in your subclass. Now, I think that D1 has a very long version of how to do it, and that definitely needs to be, better and if it comes around in D2. My thought process in D2 is that the only reason light level should ever go up is if there's new aspects, new supers, new abilities, or new subclasses, right? So here's a great example, right? Starting as a new light, you're starting off. You have access to all your light subclasses, but they're all starting out at 0. You don't have anything unlocked on it whatsoever, not even the double jump, let's say, all right? And as you're leveling up from 0 to, let's say, 50, right? That unlocks all the light subclasses. Okay, once you do 0 to 50, at 50 light level, you unlocked all the light subclasses. Congratulations, you have every access to your ability. Now, what's great about that is, as you're progressing into just a number, I'm just coming up with a number. As you're progressing into your light level, you're starting to unlock all of these different abilities on one specific subclass. Usually, people usually stick to Arc or Void, whatever they find interesting, and you're just starting to unlock all those different abilities. And you're like, wow, okay, I'm getting the hang of it. You're understanding. Now you can introduce what to push for grenades, what to do for melee, what does this melee do in this subclass, and everything else. And then people can kind of get the gist when they switch over to one subclass to another. Oh, this is how I use this. This is how I use that, and it really makes it much easier to guide the new player into doing it. Now, that I think is for the new light, right? And in general, again, numbers doesn't matter, 0 to 50 to 100, 150, as long as it doesn't feel like it's going too slow, but it's not going too fast either. I think maybe around a total of 6 hours maximum should be involved in unlocking a full subclass. In this case, all the subclasses of all the light levels for a new light, and that's just a nice way, a nice amount of time to go ahead and spend in to get it into all the new systems that are going on. Really let them play around and feel like as they're leveling into this new light level or into the higher levels, that they're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And now let's go into what the current thing is right now. If a new expansion, let's say Renegades comes out in December, okay, for Destiny 2, and it comes out with a new subclass, and the light level is increased to 100, well, okay, great. Well, now I have a reason to go ahead and because the light level is, and me increasing my light level is tied to the new subclass, it's an incentive to say, all right, I'm not grinding for armor to become a higher level, but I'm raising my light level so I can unlock more of my new subclass. Now, if you want to attach the missions to the new subclass and learning how to do it, that's also great, but it also comes with introducing the level, right? So you can tie that into, okay, so this mission, you have to be level 16 in order to actually do like they did in D1, where, okay, so if you're only level 15, well, you gotta go do a couple extra patrols or public events. You know, that's how you get people into doing public events again, because now that's a one way to increase the light level. You get your light level up, you're at level 16, great. Now when you go to do this mission that introduces a new part of your subclass, boom, you know, it works through it. And I think that's a really good idea. And now let's, like I was saying before, like if Renegades comes out, it's all about the subclass, and the subclass is tied into the mission. Fantastic, you increased it by 100 light levels. As an example, make the light levels, you know, again, maximum 6 hours. As you know, the campaign is 6 hours, 8 hours. Well, then, unlocking all your all your subclass should be 6 hours or 8 hours, however long the campaign is, and I think that's a great way to bring back the meaning of, you know, having a higher light level or that next light level, and it also brings back some excitement, saying, all right, you know, I want to grind this out. Regular, let's say the regular campaign, because there's two different campaigns in D2, right? You got the regular campaign and the legendary campaign. Well, regular gives you 3/4 of the new subclass, while legendary gives you all of the new subclasses unlocked. Brings you up to the exact light level that you need to be at, and then on top of that gives you the exotic. But I expect that legendary campaign to be as hard as Halo's legendary campaigns, right? Like, let me work, let me sweat, let me enjoy them. And it doesn't mean like making them super squishy bullet sponges. It just means swarm the field, give the AI a harder, stronger AI, make them do things that I wouldn't think that they would be able to do. Make the enemies just, you know, run up to me and bop me in the face and one shot kill me. I have no idea, like certain enemies, boom, and I just see my body fly up in the air, you know, like they did back in Halo. I think that was really done well, and I think that's something that the legendary campaign should be. You know, it doesn't need mythic or whatever it is. It just needs to be regular, carry on through. You know, something kind of chill. Get 3/4 subclass. All right, the extra 25%, I can grind it out through strikes and stuff like that to increase my light level. And then for legendaries, just boom, you're just going hardcore. It's going to give you an extra 2 hours of playtime, but you can enjoy that playtime because of how tough it is being killed all the time, or having to, you know, go through the story in a different way. So now you're actually, because of the excitement of having, you know, not even like I said, not the enemies being bullet sponges, but the enemies just being, you know, not harder to kill, but more advanced in how they're trying to kill you. And I think that'd be pretty cool. And not just with stuff like, it's like, oh, here's a sniper, snipers are everywhere, and you got only one specific place to hide. I think that's kind of really, really lame. I think they've done that a couple times in a couple missions, and I was just kind of like, well, what are we doing? Why do I got the shank snipers all over the place, and then fallen snipers all over the place, and then the minute I peek out, I got 3 snipers shooting at me all at the same time? Now, maybe for the super hardcore people, that's doable, but you know, that legendary campaign will bring you up to that. Going back to my point anyway, is that the legendary campaign will be a lot of fun, and a real reason as to why you want to raise up your light level. Now, other than that, light level should just not be increased. It just shouldn't. There's no reason for it. And unless there's a new aspect, subclass, super, and that's my honest thoughts about it. So I don't know about you guys, but if you guys got your own opinion, why don't you go ahead, comment down below, let me know what you guys think. And if you agree with me, if not, go ahead, comment down below also about what you guys don't agree with and what you guys would do to bring back light levels. Because I think light levels is important, but only for specific things. You know, like reaching for that subclass. Or so another example is before I let everybody go, is trials or Grandmaster or Ultimate content, right? All right, you want to hit that ultimate content, you got to be 50. You know, the legendary camp brings you up to 150, and you're in it, you're involved in it, right? But if you want to do trials as an example, or ultimate, which is higher than Grandmaster supposedly, okay, you got to do an extra 20 light levels or something minute like that. But in my opinion, like I said before, if you're doing the legendary campaign, that should just bring you up all the way, so you can tackle those ultimate content, and ultimate content can just be like just another scaling of what legendary campaign was, just up higher, just better AI and better of the enemies, better AI of the enemies, and swarming and just a lot of different enemies to go ahead and take care of. Like, instead of having a bunch of minion enemies, start bringing in the heavy hitters that aren't spongy, but definitely come in and just once they just get in your face and knock you out. But that's it. That's what I think. Like, if somebody wants to do trials, not only having to buy the expansion, but you got to be, at light level, which means you have to do the legendary campaign to go ahead and get to it. I think that's really where it's going to shine. Same thing for strikes with ultimate strikes. You want to go ahead and hit those ultimate strikes? No problem. Beat the legendary campaign first, and bounties and other things like that. I think is a really good idea in general, but if when it comes to light leveling, it should only be through the campaign that you can level up. And let me explain what I mean. You can do, like I said previously, like public events and other things, but of that part of that new expansion, like whatever is part of that new expansion, if you need to level yourself up, it should only be part of that new expansion. If you want to go and do old stuff, you can, but it's just not going to help you as fast as that new expansion would. Right, so let's say you get +1 from an older stuff, but you'll get +2 light level from the newer stuff. It's just an example, just tossing some ideas out there. But anyway, like I said before, guys, if you agree with me, or if you guys have a different idea or don't agree with me, go ahead, comment down below what your ideas are. Would love to hear them, and I'll see you guys in the next one.